Saralena Barry's on the road with Mayor Buttigieg at all times. She is his body woman. That's U.S. political jargon for a civilian assistant who goes pretty much everywhere with a candidate. We caught up with Barry to see what it's like to be by a candidate's side on the trail all the time.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. Right over here, Mayor. Every day is fast-paced and crazy.
Thanks for coming.
It really never stops. My name's Saralena Barry. I'm 24 years old.
Mayor, we have time for one more question.
A body person is literally just being next to them at all times, which sounds very strange, but in politics, it's kind of necessary.
We're good. We're going to keep moving. Thank you.
I'll do the rope line, so he'll go sign autographs.
Would you like a photo?
Shake hands, and I'll just follow him.
Right behind you, Mayor.
Yep.
Right over here. Right over here, Mayor.
I take lots of photos.
Quick photo. Quick photo. You want to get in for a photo?
It really is a great way to see the country.
Great. Thank you so much.
And you meet so many people that I would have never crossed paths with.
Oh, you want to sign it? Oh, no, I don't want to sign it.
Why not?
You don't want me to sign it?
I was born in Chicago, grew up right outside of South Bend. Then when you grow up there, your end goal, you're always told, is to get out. And so when I went off to college, I wanted to go as far away to South Bend as possible. But after spending 4 years in California, I was pulled to go back, and I knew I had to do it. A typical day is the mayor wakes up, we'll tag team getting him breakfast. May I please have a bistro breakfast sandwich and medium black coffee? Thank you.
I'll have yours. Take your time. Okay, fine. Take your time.
Up to third floor. And then we'll hop in the car and go to our first event. And that's when I go through his daily schedule with him, making sure he knows important elected officials he's talking to or who's introducing him. I used to have to pick the mayor up at his house to go to events. And now he's rolling up in this huge bus. Very surreal.
And I have come to the conclusion that
I like to think that it's not any different if I was a man. We were in DC at an event, and there was a couple of college kids, and they said something along the lines of, "Can that little girl take the photo for us?" I don't know if it was because I was a woman, but it took me back a little bit. Is anyone ready for the White House? I try not to think about that and just think of the day-to-day. If he does become president or if he doesn't, I like to think that there's a world where I can stay with the mayor for a long period of time. No matter what happens, like, I want to attach my name to his.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.